A country that punishes war crimes is now being sued for punishing the people who prosecute them. That country is the United States. From here in Europe, this is the moment the plot twists. The world's self-appointed sheriff has taken aim at the world's only permanent war crimes court, and now human rights groups are dragging the sheriff into an American courtroom. Let us be precise about what happened. In February 2025, shortly after Donald Trump began his second term, his administration slapped sanctions on judges and prosecutors of the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Not sanctions on a dictator, sanctions on the judges, travel bans, frozen assets in the United States. The reason? The court had been investigating and issuing arrest warrants against senior Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, over the war in Gaza. So now 4 human rights organizations, among them Human Rights Watch, have filed suit in a New York court. The argument over more than 100 pages is blunt. They call it an unlawful abuse of power, a direct attack on the rule of law, on the independence of judges and prosecutors, and on the principle that everyone should have equal access to justice. They say the sanctions make it harder to prosecute genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. And, in a detail Americans should sit with, they argue the sanctions violate free speech, the very freedom the United States loves to lecture the rest of the world about. Here is the part that looks stranger from Berlin than from Washington. More than 120 countries recognize this court. Germany does. France does. Most of Europe does. The United States and Israel do not. So America has decided that a court it never joined cannot judge an ally it wishes to protect, and to make that point it is freezing the bank accounts of Dutch-based prosecutors. That is not a legal argument. That is a message. Some governments are above the law, and Washington will decide which ones, and it does not stop at sanctions. Last month, Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced in a video message that the United States would pressure other countries to withdraw from the court entirely. Read that again. Not to reform it, not to argue its cases, to dismantle it, one nervous ally at a time. For Europeans, this is uncomfortable on a level most American coverage skips. The International Criminal Court exists because of a European conviction forged in the ruins of the 20th century that power should answer to law, that no leader is untouchable. The United States helped build that idea, then decided it should apply to everyone except its friends. The lawsuit may or may not succeed. American courts have a way of deferring to presidents on foreign affairs, but the spectacle is the point. A nation that fought wars in the name of accountability is now in court, defending its right to shield the accused. The world is watching to see which principle America chooses. So far, the answer is not encouraging. That's the view from here. What does it look like where you are? Drop it in the comments and subscribe for the perspective American media won't give you.